Hey guys! Oh, hold on, let me mute this. Y'all, I'm watching the Bad Girls Club. It's a marathon on right now. It's one of my favorite reality TV shows, so don't judge. So as you guys can see, I am back home. Please don't mind the boxes. My mom is moving. So let me go on and start this video off by saying, if you guys have a problem with cussing, I'm so sorry, but I want to be real with you guys. Like, I want to be true with you guys. So if you guys have a problem with it, I will try to beep out as much cuss words as I can. I'll try my best, but these are true feelings right here. So as some of you guys know, I graduated from my 2-year college, and so now I'm going to a 4-year college. So I was actually really thinking about not going back to this 4-year college, this 4-year university, because of all the crap that I've had to deal with at this apartment complex. Okay, so first off, when I first moved into my apartment, I was really excited. I had a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom. So we'll just name them Caitlin and Joanna. We'll name her Joanna. I had to see that fight. So when I finally get there, I walk into the house, and the house smells like an animal lived there. Like, it stunk so bad. Like, you know how when you go somewhere and it's stinky and your stomach kind of does like a little backflip? Like, that's what my stomach did. It stunk so bad. Like, I had to get my body mist, and like, it stink. Y'all nasty. So as I'm moving my things in, I'm looking around the bedroom, and I'm like, okay, but then I go in the kitchen to, you know, like, for an apartment, you have to do the same for a dorm. Like, you have to check inventory. You have to do this stuff so that you won't be fined for whatever holes or damages are in the apartment. So I go in the kitchen and I open up the refrigerator. They had a whole plant in the refrigerator. And I was like, why is there a plant in the refrigerator? But I was like, okay, whatever. Whatever. I go and I search everything else. Like, these girls, I'm like, maybe they're not as nasty as I think they are, because there's stains everywhere on the kitchen. Like, the trash is taken out, but like, there's stains all over the trash, and like I said, it stunk really, really, really bad. So I moved my stuff in, and I text them, and I'm like, hey, like, I'm here at the apartment. And Joanna goes, you know, I'm gonna be there in like a week. And I was like, okay. And Caitlin, again, didn't text me back. But there's reasons I don't like these bitches. So as I'm finally getting there and I'm moving everything in, another week goes by. I didn't hear anything from Caitlin. I didn't hear anything from Joanna, right? Then this second week, so it's about a week before school starts, I come in, my friend Robin texted me, and she was like, hey, do you want to go shopping? And I was like, yeah, sure, let's go shopping. So we go to Target, we go to the Dollar Tree, we go to Marshall. So we go and shop that whole strip, and I come back to the apartment, and I noticed that Caitlin's door is open. And so I just came in, I said, hello, hi, and she didn't respond. So I'm like, okay, you know, maybe she's in the restroom or something. But I know she's not, because you know how when someone's door is wide open and you can tell they're not in the bathroom? So she was obviously sitting down on her bed, because I saw that bitch's feet. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just leave it alone. I'm gonna go outside, get the rest of my groceries, and come back up. So I came back up with my friend Robin, and when I came back up, her door was cracked. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go on and say hi again. So I said hello, and she still didn't say anything. So I walked in my room, and my friend Robin was like, something doesn't seem right with her. And you know, me being me, I said, you know, maybe she has a call, or maybe she had to go use the bathroom. You know, I was making up excuses for this heifer. So my friend Robin was like, well, I gotta go to work. I'll talk to you, I'll talk to you later, like I'll text you. And I was like, okay, I'll see you later. So when she left, I was unpacking my my groceries and stuff, and she walked out. She saw my door cracked. She walked out. She didn't even say anything to me. She walked out, went in the refrigerator, grabbed her stuff, and sat down at our bar table and started to eat. And I was like, maybe she's gonna say something. But she never said anything. So I walked out and I said, hi, I'm Shy, I'm your new roommate. And I went to shake her hand. And y'all, I don't know if this was the way I was raised, but I was raised that when you shake someone's hand, you give them a firm handshake. And you never shake with your left hand because that's disrespect. You always shake with your right hand. So I went to shake her hand, shook my hand like this. Like, I can't really do it, but this is my hand and this is her hand. She went like this, to where she just like barely touched my hands. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? And then she gave me a look too. So this was the look. And I was like, bitch, what? And so I said, well, how was your summer? And she was like, it was good. And I was like, okay, well, I'm Shy, like I said. I'm from Dallas. I'm a junior here, just transferred. And she really wasn't trying to have conversation with me. Like, she was just like, okay, whatever, that's cool. And so then she grabbed, when she was done, she was like, and she threw her food away. She picked up her phone, she texted someone, and then she went in her room. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna just go in my room and finish unpacking. So for that whole night, she never said anything to me. She didn't try to have conversation with me. I tried to have conversation with her, and then I left to go spend time with my cousin. When I come back, she's sitting down watching TV, and I said, hey, and she goes, eh. And then she turns off the television and she goes in her room. I'm like, okay, me and this bitch, we're not gonna get along. I can feel it. The day before school starts, that's when Joanna comes in. And she looked at my door when it was cracked and she said, hi. And that's when I opened up my door and I was like, hi, like, it's nice to meet you. I'm Shy, I'm your new roommate. And she was like, yeah, I know, it's nice to meet you. Like, we had a conversation. This is a whole semester of shit. Let me just say that. Anyway, so, what's the girl name? Caitlin and I, we never really hit it off. Like, we always had something going on. I came in there being nice to her. The bitch had a problem with me. So it wasn't until September that Joanna and I had a problem. My friend Colin came over, and if y'all ever see Colin, he is fine. I'm sorry, I love Colin. Colin knows I love him. He is fine, but we are strictly just friends. Like, we're just friends, but he's fine. Anyway, so he came over for his birthday and he came to see my cousin and I, and he was like, hey, for my birthday, like, I really want to go to the club with you guys. So we, my cousin is getting ready at her apartment, and then Colin is about to come over to get ready at my apartment. So I come in and Joanna is cooking. So I'm like, hey Joanna, this is my friend, this is Colin. And so she looked up, like, I guess she expected someone else, but she looked up, and the way she looked at me next was like, how the f did this bitch snag him? And I'm sitting here like, okay, she just gave me a look. And so I turned to Colin, like, when I opened up my door and walked in, I turned to Colin and I was like, did she give me a look? And he was like, what? Before I could even say it, he was like, why the f did that bitch give you a look? And I was like, I don't know, I'm about to get ready, don't worry about it. So Colin asked me then, he's like, hey, do you have a shirt I can borrow? Like, not a shirt, do you have an iron I can borrow to iron my, do you have an iron so that I can iron my shirt? I was like, yeah, I have an iron, I just don't have an ironing board. And so I walked out and I was like, hey Joanna, do you mind if I use your ironing board? And so she said, yeah, I got the ironing board. And I was like, all right, here's your iron. Here's the spray for your shirt. I'm about to hop in the shower real quick so I can get ready to go. Before I could walk in, like, that's when Joanna said some. Joanna goes, oh, why are you, she turns to Colin, she goes, why are you ironing your shirt? And then she turns to me and she goes, isn't that your job? Shouldn't you be ironing his shirt? And I was like, why would you say that? And she goes, oh, I didn't say that. You know, Caitlin says that stuff. And I was like, well, why would Caitlin say that? Why do I have to iron his shirt? And she goes, I was just kidding. And she like throws her spoon or something in the sink, and she like speed walks to her room. And I'm like, I don't know. Colin turns to me. I'm like, I don't know. I don't care. So I go in my room to go take a shower, because you know how you can tell when someone's not joking? We all know she was not joking. So fast forward, we go to the club. No, fast forward, I get out of the shower. I'm already ready. I'm putting on some lip gloss, and I put on my cat ears for the club. And he's like, hey. And I was like, hey. Like, he didn't say it in like a hey, what's up type of way. He said it in a hey, I got something to tell you. And I was like, all right, what's up? And Colin was like, I told that bitch off for you. And I said, what? What do you mean you told that bitch off for me? Who? What bitch? Because Caitlin wasn't there. If there was anyone I wanted him to tell off, it was Caitlin. Because Caitlin and I just weren't seeing eye to eye. And this was in September. Like, this was like 4 weeks after I moved in. And we just weren't getting along. Like, hating ass bitch. Anyway, I was like, who did you tell off? He was like, the only girl that I met. And I was like, you told off Joanna? He was like, yeah, I told off Joanna. He was like, but let's not talk about this right now. Like, I'll tell you on the ride to the club. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. Closed the door, locked it, and then I went on my way. I didn't get back home until like 4 or 5 o'clock, but I was not loud. So that's one thing with me. So whenever I come back from the club and I know I'm gonna be late, I know I'm gonna be loud, I always leave like a little lamp or something on so that I don't make too much noise. I came into the apartment was pitch black. I didn't have a problem with that. I used my phone, I unlocked my lock really quietly, came into my room, took a shower, and went to sleep. I didn't wake up the next day until like 12 or 1 o'clock. But she was in the kitchen being loud. So she was just like banging unnecessary pots and pans. And, you know, I didn't have a problem with it. I'm already like, I need to do laundry. So I just ignored her. I went in, I said hi, and this was the look the bitch gave me. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna just ignore that, you know, funky ass look you gave me. So I turned to the girl and I'm like, hey, I'm sorry if I came in late last night or came in loud last night. And she was like, yeah, I know, I heard you. And I was like, oh, really? Like, how did you hear me? I wasn't that loud. And she was like, I know, it wasn't your fault. It was the apartment complex. Like, every time someone opens up the door, I can hear it in my room. And you coming in at whatever time late last night really woke me up. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. And so she was like, she said something. I walked into my room and I finished cleaning up. I was not about to have it. So that was our incident. And after that, you know, I joined some extracurricular activities. I had to work, so I really never really saw them because I was always over my cousin's house, I was always over my friend's house, or I was at the library studying. So it's normally, or I was working. So I was never really at the apartment. But whenever I was at home, they would say some like small, like itty bitty, like shade. They would throw shade just for no fucking reason. I'd come in from home, hey, I'm surprised you're home. I sleep here every night, bitch. What you mean? They tried to act nice on my birthday. So I was born October 11th. And the girl's birthday was October 31st. So that was their month of being nice. Because, I don't know. It was just their month of being nice. So Caitlin made some cupcakes. But what I noticed with Caitlin was that she never washed her hands. So she would just go in and like start to cook. And I was like, okay. And one day, like, she never washed her hands. I know some people are like, maybe she washed her hands in her bathroom. The bitch never washed her hands. It's gross. ugh. And whenever she did go in their kitchen and cook, she would be cooking like, this is the spoon and this is like, I need a better example. I use this. This is the pan and she I was like, you nasty bitch. It's so gross. How dare you? Even like when I'm cooking, they'll leave like stuff on the counters, and like I would do what my mom says, which is just like wipe off your part of the counter and like cook. So I would, but these girls would come in and they would sneeze or cough or not even keep the place tidy, like, ugh. So Joanna brung her boyfriend over in November, and that's when I first met him. And he shook my hand normally, how you're supposed to shake hands. And we hit it off. He was really nice. He thought I was really nice. That bitch had a problem with it. And then Caitlin got her first boyfriend, but he, for some reason, loved to be a bitch. I walked out of my room one day to go study over my friend's house. So anyway, as I was leaving and locking my door, he goes, "Hey," and I was like, "Hello," and he goes, "Are you Caitlin's roommate?" And in my head, I'm like, "No, I'm just the motherfucker that lives here." But I said so sweetly, "Yes, I am. I'm shy. What's your name?" I didn't get his name because I really didn't care. And he was like, "Oh, okay. I just want to let you know that I like Drake and I like J. Cole. Like, I'm about to listen to him right now." And I'm like, "Okay, that's nice. That's cool." I'm like, "Well, y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all later." I close the door and I hear her immediately start to laugh. Like, it's not even like a cute laugh. The bitch laughed like a hyena from The Lion King. That's not cute. And this is the way these girls work, because I hardly see them just like they hardly see me. And when they do see me, they like to nitpick. So I'm in my room one day getting ready to leave. It is Saturday. It is 12 p.m. so it's noon. So Caitlin's boyfriend comes over. Excuse me. And I'm listening to Shaka Khan. Okay? I love Shaka Khan. My Shaka Khan was not that loud, but he stopped and I guess he listened into my door. And then right when I stopped it because I was about to leave, he goes, "Oh my God, thank God that ghetto ass music off." And I'm listening like, motherfucker, it's Shaka Khan. And so when I open up my door to say like it's Shaka Khan, Caitlin pulled him in her room and shut the door. And she didn't just like shut it, she slammed the door. And I still hear this over the door. And I'm like, I gotta go before I'm late for work. I come back, the apartment is quiet. And at this point, I'm really, really, really annoyed. I'm very annoyed. And so I call my friend Julie, and I'm like, "Julie, can I go to your apartment?" Because, my other friend Victoria was in town. And she was like, "Yeah, sure." So I get my keys. I grab my keys. I know I had my keys, and I go and I shut the door right when Caitlin and her boyfriend and I guess another friend are walking in. And I looked at her, and this time I didn't say anything because, she doesn't respond to me. So why should I respond to her? So I shut the door and I lock it, put the keys in my purse, go out, shut the door, lock the front door. And I hear them say something, but like I said, I was trying to go to my friend Julie's. Out of that whole routine trip, I spent the night over Julie's. I come back and I can't find my keys. Morning, because remember, like I said, this is Saturday. Spent the night on Sunday. This is Monday morning. Bad Girls Club, I'm sorry. Then, when I walk in and I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta knock on the door. I knock on the door And Joanna opens up the door and she looked at me. She already has an 8 a.m. class, so I don't understand why she was mad. It was 7:30. So she opens up the door and she goes, "Did you forget your keys?" And I'm like, yes, I did. And she goes, "Okay, well, did you call the front office?" I say, "Yes, I did. I called the front office. They don't open up until 9. And she goes, "Oh, okay. So I forgot." "Did you call maintenance?" I said, "Maintenance doesn't open up until 9. Like, I understood that she was trying to be nice, but she was coming off as fake nice. So she was coming off as nasty nice. So I'm sitting down and Caitlin opens up the door. I guess she spent the night over her boyfriend's. She comes in and she looks at me and then she goes, "Did you get locked out?" And I'm like, yes, I did. And she goes, "Oh, well, if you need anything, just let me know, okay?" And she goes in her room, unlocks her door, and starts to laugh and starts to call someone. So I'm like, what the is up with this bitch? Like, why don't you, I really don't care if you like me, but what's your issue with me? Because you had an issue with me since the first day. Finally, it hits 9 o'clock. I run down there. I ask for the keys, come back, and she shuts the door and locks the door on me. She knows, I tell them, like, "Hey, I'm about to go may y'all please leave this door unlocked. I have to go and get the keys to unlock my door from the front office, from the leasing office." And they say okay, but I guess they brush me off because I come back and the door is locked. So when I finally get into my apartment room, Joanna is walking out and I said, "Hey, who locked the door? I just asked y'all, please don't do it." And she was like, "Well, you're always telling us to lock the front door behind us, so I locked it behind you." I have to hurry up and get ready because I have a 10 o'clock class. It's already 9 o'clock. I'm nowhere near done. And Caitlin said something else smart underneath her mouth, and I just really didn't have time for it. That day, I come back from a long day of school. It was very stressful, obviously. And Joanna and Caitlin came in, and I was sitting down at my desk, and I was studying, and Caitlin goes, "I really hope I have my keys to unlock my door." And then Joanna goes, "Yeah, you don't want to be like some people who lose their keys." And I was like, huh, really? Okay, so when I call you out for this, let's see what you have to say. At that time, I said, "Hey Joanna, can I talk to you for a second?" And at that point, you know, the hyena is in her room laughing, talking to her boyfriend. "Who says that? Can I talk to you for a second?" Like a damn hyena, bitch. Oh, but anyway, I said, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Were you talking about me when you said some people lose their keys?" And then she goes, "Oh, no. I was talking to Caitlin because Caitlin lost her keys one day and I had to copy my keys so that she could get in her room." This is how I knew she was lying, because each room has their own individual key to unlock your own individual bedroom. But I said, "Oh, okay." And then at that point, she stopped, she looked at me, and she rolled her eyes. And I said, "Do you have anything else that you have to say?" And then she looked at me and she said, "No, I'm late for class." And I said, "Okay, well, have a good day in class." And at that point, she shut her door and locked it. And I said, "Okay, that's one down. I'm about to get another one." And so at that point, you know, Caitlin's boyfriend said something yet again. This is a grown-ass dude getting in female conversation. That's what I hate the most. We're not fighting. I have not said anything to you. This girl has had a problem with me since day one. So her boyfriend spent the night that night. One day, it was mid-November. I know because it was before I moved out. I was sitting in my room, and I think Caitlin went into Joanna's room, and she said, "I'm getting so tired of her. I'm really gonna, like, knock the shit out of that nigger." And I said, "Okay." And so that's when I opened up my door and I said, okay, well, when you're ready, let's be ready. In other words, like, if you can call her a nigger in her room, then you can come in, say nigger to my face. And so from then, like, I knew we're gonna fight. I knew it. I said, we're gonna fight. And so I called my best friend and I said, I'm gonna fight her. I'm gonna fight this bitch. And so my best friend Alexis, she's like, no, don't do it. Leave her alone. Like, do you need to come over? I said, no, I don't. That's all. My grades slipped. So I went from having a AB average to a BC, almost D average. And it was because I had to deal with roommates that were honestly prejudiced. And I didn't want to accept it at first because I was like, we're in the year 2016. Like, there's no way like people are going to be prejudiced. Like, like I told y'all in past years, I went from a school that was, you know, very diverse to a predominantly Caucasian school, and I did have, you know, racial slurs, you know, called off at me. I've been called a monkey, I've been called a nigga girl, I've been called, you know, nappy headed heifer, ugly, oh, you're pretty for a black girl. Like, I've heard all of that. But then I didn't expect it to come from like two educated girls who are in university. Like, I don't expect that from a university, because I feel like college should open up your mind. Education should open up your mind to where you don't look at a person because of their skin. You look at a person because of their intelligence. And so I came into that apartment with an open mind. I came into that apartment thinking like, I'm gonna get along with these girls, and even if I don't, like, we're not gonna get along because our personalities don't mesh. Whereas they didn't get along, I didn't get along with them because their personalities were f***ed up. I didn't care about their skin color. I didn't care anything. I didn't like them because our personalities didn't mesh up and they were shit talkers. I'm over it now. I forgave those girls. Still pissed off about, you know, what happened, but I went on and just let it go. I told the front office everything that happened and they moved me. But it's crazy, but it's life.